Hello everyone. Happy Saturday. It's very late, and I am gonna try and get some sleep after this. I hope the fan isn't too loud. I'm so sorry if it is. Um, I just wanted to do a quick audio only review of Catwoman Hunted. I watched it tonight with a couple friends, and it was not good. It was not good at all. I don't even know what this movie was. I felt like I wasted an hour of my life, and I feel bad for the friend that spent $6 to rent this movie because what even was this? And it sucks to say that because this is Catwoman. She's one of my favorites all time, period. But when you step back and look at this movie as a whole, this movie is not about Catwoman. We are not following her journey. We are not following her motivations, her growth, her loss, her gains. We're not truly. And I'm like, so why am I even here? This is supposed to be about Catwoman, and it's not. This is a waste of time. Let's start with, why is this an anime? The anime, it does not work for me in this movie. It does not work. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Um, the design of Catwoman, particularly her face, it kind of took me out. It really did. And the fact that her and the Pennyworth policewoman, they look like twins, I couldn't do it. It was just too much. Catwoman, with this particular anime style, works only in small doses. It does not work, to me, in larger doses. Think of Batman in Shanghai. You know that DC short that they did um way back when? Beautiful short, right? Think about that. Okay, Catwoman's in there. It's in small doses, but it works. But the larger focus is on Batman because that type of animation style works for Batman. His moves are very sharp, very quick, very meticulous. And that particular style of animation, that anime, will accentuate that and make it blossom. With Catwoman, it doesn't work. Catwoman, the way she moves is very fluid, very smooth, and almost sensual. And you cannot convey that effectively with this type of animation, and it shows. It shows. She's very stiff, very bland. And I'm like, this is not Catwoman. Think about the DC showcase that they did for Catwoman. That's what I mean. The way she moves in that and the way she moves in this is night and day. And I don't like it at all. Um, let's talk about the story. Because what story? What plot? There was nothing of the sort. It was very flimsy, very much thrown together. And so we start the movie. Catwoman is looking for this dumb emerald gem, right? She goes to this party that's being hosted by Cheetah, Black Mask, whatever, and she steals it from under their nose. And you're like, oh, okay. So she has this gem. Okay, what is she gonna do with it? Well, why does she want it? We don't figure that out until 15 minutes left in the movie. I shit you not, right? So within the first 20 minutes of this movie, this emerald gem is stolen, retrieved, and given back to the bad guys. So we only have an hour to work with, an hour and a little bit of change. And 20 minutes is already wasted, and we're back at square one. So then from there, Catwoman is thrusted into this mission with Batwoman and the Pennyworth policewoman and the police in general. She's coaxed into being a part of this mission and tracking down the Leviathan, which is this group that's run by Cheetah, Black Mask. Yeah, right? Why? It literally, when you're watching, it looks like Catwoman is a side character and she's just there along for the ride. It's It's so infuriating. Why is she doing this mission? In what way does this serve her? You want her to come with you to track down the Leviathan for what? It does not benefit her in any shape or form. In exchange, the police were like, oh, we will make those warrants disappear because she has a bunch of different warrants in different countries. But if Catwoman has been able to evade them for this long, why would she even risk her life now for something that has really been in the back of her mind up until this point? And then to top it off, towards the end of the movie, they confront the Leviathan, right? Her and Batwoman. And the police come in and they take out 80% of the Leviathan with no problem. No problem. There are only probably 2 members who are left unaccounted for, and they are saved for Batwoman and Catwoman. So my thing is, why are they even there? If the police could handle this, because they took out 80% of the members, and they probably could have done all of them, why does Catwoman need to be there? What purpose does she serve? So already, this is the next 20, 25, 30 minutes of your film, and Catwoman is inconsequential to the core part of your flimsy ass story. What are we doing? What are we doing? Then there's just little things in the midst of that, right? So this movie, they tried to do the whole female empowerment thing. We're strong, badass women. We're highly capable. We pummel all the men, right? They fight 80% of the people, no, 90% of the people they fight in this movie, Batwoman and Catwoman, they are male. And they kick their ass with no problems. Even someone of the likes of Solomon Grundy. I shit you not. And once again, this narrative, it falls flat. Falls completely flat. Because they are no longer interesting. There are no obstacles that they cannot overcome. So what am I even watching this for? What challenges are they even going to face? Because they're going to find some way to take out the antagonist. There are only 2 women from my memory that they go against in this movie. Well, actually there's 3. Cheshire, Cheetah, and some dragon lady whose name escapes me, but she's not important because, of course, they win the fight and it's no challenge at all. But let's focus on Cheshire and Cheetah because those 2 are like the most egregious. Cheshire being the more egregious one. So Catwoman and Batwoman, they meet her on a rooftop and they start fighting. And Catwoman is actually keeping up with the fight. For some reason, she's actually like going toe to toe with Cheshire and wins the fight. And I'm looking like, how? I'm sorry, I love Catwoman, but there is no universe in which she should have been able to keep up with Cheshire in the way that she did. I'm sorry. With Cheshire's training and lethalness, there's no way she could go toe to toe. But she did. And she actually took one of Cheshire's swords. And then you're like, why did you take the sword? Your niche is the whip, which she barely uses, of course, right? So she has the sword. She gets into a fight not too long after the whole battle with Cheshire. And she's fighting this dude with the sword. And Catwoman just throws it out there that she trained with Lady Shiva in sword mastery or whatever the hell. And I'm like, when in the world did you ever train with Lady Shiva? When did you do that? Because we didn't see that in the movie. It wasn't alluded to before this point, before this fight. So why even throw that out there? And how in the world did you get to Lady Shiva? Because Catwoman does not have the connects like that. I'm sorry. She not to get to Lady Shiva. The only person who could get you close to Lady Shiva like that is your boyfriend, the Batman. But they didn't even mention him by name, so screw you. Why even mention that? So they did that as a way to explain away the fight between Cheshire and then everything else going forward. Because then we get to Cheetah, and somehow she's outlasting Cheetah. Someone who has super strength, someone who is a freaking cheetah. You are the fastest animal on the planet, but you can't catch up to Catwoman. She's literally chasing her and she can't catch up to her. See, this is the issue when you have poorly written female characters and poorly written characters who are OP. You have to nerf everyone around them to keep this narrative going, and it doesn't make for a compelling story at all. How could you nerf Cheetah like that? There's a reason why her and Wonder Woman go toe to toe. There's a reason for that. Catwoman should not, under any circumstance, have been able to go toe to toe with Cheetah, especially the way she was presented in this film. No way. And it's so funny because the people that Batwoman and Cheetah, I'm sorry, and Catwoman fight, the way they defeat them is by proxy of something else, some type of environmental factor. Like when they fought Solomon Grundy, Catwoman defeated him on her own, mind you, because Batwoman got knocked out with sticks of dynamite in his mouth. Yeah. He didn't try and spit him out or anything like that. She just stuck him in there, ran, and he blew up. That's how you defeated them. Then when you fought Cheetah, Cheetah was struck by lightning. That's how she was defeated. And then lost her balance enough and then fell into the little spike thingies that were below. So you have these poorly written female characters, and they can't even defeat the big bads on their own merit. And you could write them in a way in which they could. You could write the scene in a way in which Batwoman and Catwoman could defeat Cheetah working together, or they could defeat Solomon Grundy working together. But you also want to have it focus on Catwoman because it is her movie. But then you sacrifice logic. It's just poor storytelling at the end of the day. And let's talk about the dialogue, because that was also like the second worst part of this movie. The dialogue in this movie is horrendous. Every line that Catwoman says has to end with a one-liner. It has to end with a cat pun, or it has to end in some sort of sexual innuendo. It's so irritating after the first 15 minutes. And I'm like, damn, we got to sit through another 45 minutes on top of other characters doing the exact same thing. It's like the dialogue was written for someone like Harley Quinn or Captain Boomerang, but 10 times more annoying. Why? And you had the talent with the voice acting. You had Elizabeth Giles, who played Jade on Victorious. She was voicing Catwoman. I think she had the potential to be a good Catwoman, but they squandered it with that horrible script. And then I wasn't a fan of Batwoman's voice. It was way too stoic, way too emotionless. And I didn't really like her design that much either. I didn't get Batwoman and Catwoman's relationship or friendship. It seemed to have come out of nowhere. They didn't do a good job of establishing it. They had this weird moment where Selena blue balls the shit out of Kate. And I was like, ooh, Kate, sweetie, yikes. But why? But it never comes up again. So why even put that in the film? Why even? It's just a waste. Like, why even put it in the film? So the last 15 minutes, I mentioned a little bit earlier that we don't really find out Catwoman's true motivation for being a part of this whole Leviathan mission until the last 15 minutes. So last 15 minutes, after everything's done, Catwoman just casually mentions that the Leviathan or Cheetah, um, she was trafficking young women and young girls. And I'm like, what? Now I know for a fact this was never shown in the movie. It may have been said prior to when Catwoman said it, may have been, but it was not shown. It was not shown. We never saw them trafficking anyone. Not to my memory. Please tell me if I'm wrong. But it turns out that was her whole motivation. We find this out 15 minutes before the damn movie ends. So this whole time we've been following her, she literally looks like she's a sidekick for a mission she really didn't need to be a part of, as I already explained. Only to find out, no, 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 no. She wants this stupid emerald gem and she wants to take down the Leviathan to help the trafficked women and girls. Okay. Okay. Like, okay. Okay. Like that just makes the last 45 minutes pointless. I think that's it. That's all I got. It was just bad. It was just it was bad and I would not recommend it. 2 out of 10. Yeah. I'm going to sleep. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check you guys later. Bye.